What's up, folks? Maddie Wills here with a brand new episode of BeWell with Maddie Wills, brought to you by our good friends at MetroHealth, where each episode we talk about a different mental health, physical health, all types of health topics with a variety of wellness experts. And today we have my good friend Cristi Zavarella here to talk to us about how to break the cycle of stressing ourselves out, a conversation that I sorely need to have, and I'm going to get some good advice today. But first and foremost, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. We know that you guys are extremely busy, so we always appreciate every moment that you can give to us, not only for us, but obviously for our listeners and our viewers as well. And before we get into today's topic, why don't you just give our listeners just a beat about your journey into MetroHealth, what you do here, how you got here, and all that good stuff.
Sure. So I am the clinical operations manager for the outpatient programs at MetroHealth. And I've been with Metro for 2 years, but prior to that, I was with a different hospital system for over 12 years doing inpatient psychiatric work. So thank you for having me.
I also saw that you are a Cleveland State University graduate.
I am a Cleveland State alum. So
I didn't go there, but I have several friends that went there. So
yeah,
shout out to those
props
people.
to all my alum friends.
There you go. There you go. A true Clevelander here.
Yep.
So we'll just dive right in, okay? Why do people have a tendency to overthink things?
Well, as human beings, we're kind of hardwired to be problem solvers, from the time we were cave people, gathering, hunting, running away from saber-toothed tigers. We're always having to plan, always having to create a plan for the worst case scenario. So our brains are just hardwired to think things through, to become problem solvers, to say, okay, this is an issue. How am I going to solve it? How is it going to get worse in the future? So we're just kind of constantly on these problem solving tasks.
Yeah, and it's kind of a simple question, but the answer can be very complex because just like you laid out, every day, that's basically what we're doing all day is trying to problem solve. And if you have a lot of problems, then it could be easy to overthink some of those things. So
Correct.
That makes perfect sense. What effect does negative stress and anxiety have on our bodies, though?
It can wreak havoc on your bodies. And if you think about stress, it has several different levels, so at the very highest level, you have your anxiety and panic, so some people are so anxious that they have what they call panic attacks, which makes you literally feel like you're going to die. Your heart rate goes up, you get the chest tightness, shortness of breath, sweating, all of these things that can really feel like a heart attack. So that's terrifying. And that's like the highest level of what can happen to your body under extreme stress.
Right.
But at a lower level, where most of us live, when we're thinking about the deadline that's coming up or the emails that we have to answer or, all these things, that long-term low-level stress can cause heart problems down the road, high blood pressure. It can make your immune system a little less effective, so you get sick more often. So stress can definitely have a significant effect on the body.
Yeah, and it sounds like a snowball effect as well, right?
Absolutely. The longer you allow stress to eat away at you, the more your body's going to break down.
Right.
Which is why it's important to get that taken care of.
Absolutely. So what are some ways that you would suggest that we can get that stress lowered?
Well, there are things we can do on our own, because you don't always need professional help. But so on your own, there are several what they call grounding techniques or, mindfulness techniques are kind of in the same realm. And these are techniques that you can use on your own to kind of calm yourself. And the idea behind all of these techniques is just taking a step back from whatever you're looking at, whatever you're dealing with, and just connecting to the moment, being in the moment. Like, I'm just here in this room. This is the only moment I have at the moment. and just living in that moment. And there are ways you can do that. One technique that I like to give to my patients when I see them, or to friends who ask, is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. And what that is, it's a mindfulness technique. You're sitting in a place, like we're here in a studio. I would, if I were to employ this technique, I would name 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can feel, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. And the idea behind that is, we are so much living in our heads. We're like thinking about tomorrow. Oh, I got this deadline. I got this going on. Or you're thinking about your past. Oh, I messed this up, To get yourself back into the present, you force your brain to notice your surroundings. And you're doing this in a way that is not judgmental. But, you're not complaining, you're just noticing. And by the time you have told yourself stories about the 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, and so on, you're in a little bit calmer place.
That is really interesting, because I don't remember exactly how you termed it, but forcing yourself to kind of be present and then acknowledging things through sight, smell, whatever, that there's no wiggle room on it, right? Which kind of makes you get out of the mental space of what's going on tomorrow or yesterday or whatever, and be right here, right now. And apparently that has what you would call it a calming effect?
Calming, or sometimes they call it grounding.
Okay.
That's kind of like the technical term for it. Yep, you're just grounding yourself back in reality, back in the present. Yep.
If you're experiencing high levels of stress and anxiety that interfere with daily life, the MetroHealth team is here to help. You can always call 216-778-4428 to book an appointment today. She's Cristi Zavarella. I'm Maddie Wills. Thank you for joining us with another episode of Be Well with Maddie Wills, brought to you by MetroHealth. Thank you.